Hi, Doug. I can see you making a cup of coffee there. Very relaxed as you are sitting working as a resident artist for Koala in 2020. I'm very happy to be able to speak to you today about the process that you use when you're creating a work of art. Can you talk us through what you're doing?
Hi, Alison. Yeah, well, as you can see, the coffee isn't for me. It's for the artwork, and I've just grabbed a little bit of salt, which is also for the artwork.
So coffee and salt as your medium. That's unusual.
Yeah, it's the basis of a lot of the artwork that I'm doing at the moment, and so you can just see here I'm just on watercolor paper. And it's just a simple process of laying down the coffee in the area that you want, and then just sprinkling salt, and you just let it do its thing. And you never know what you're going to get, but it shows you possibilities. So you can see after the salt is dried, and it's left all these really cool, interesting little marks on the paper. And I'm just using watercolor paper. It's quite thick, so you can put a lot of coffee on.
Have you scraped salt off there for some reason?
Yeah, just to get rid of the grit off it. And sometimes I use really big salt crystals, and they're quite bulky, and so you'll need to get them off, and it's just for the printers afterwards. And so now I've decided that it's a landscape, and where the salt has been, and I'm drawing an echidna on a salt pan. So so where the salt has been, they can either be little rock formations or patches of grass. So you can go back in with colour. Like here, I'm just going back in with a bit of white, just over some lead. But you can, and you don't have to just do coffee. You can do other colours, but the salt is it's key. And you can do. It's great for doing things like trees and rocks. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just painting a couple of branches. And
so you have an idea already in your head of the shapes you're making. The first time it was more like a wash, but here you're doing something more deliberate.
Yeah, and which is good because it sort of, as the coffee dries, it forms a border, and then you can go back in with coffee or watercolor, and it won't go past those edges that have dried. So, but it's a really good process for making things like mottled tree branches, and this one here actually went. Oh, I can see the shape on the right. Looks a lot like a frog mouth, and I was intending to do one, but sometimes I actually do the shape. Like here's a really good example of using colour in there.
That's beautiful.
Now, now it's just a simple, process of just adding in detail over the top, and sometimes you can highlight some of the patches by putting a shadow underneath or highlights on top just to bring them out. It forces you to see things in a different way, whereas someone may just see like it's a coffee splatter, but it could be seaweed or an octopus. It's just what you see, and then it's just your job to reveal it out of the coffee and the salt. So
it's just magic watching that happen. So that is a process that children could do quite easily in terms of setting up the background, but to be able to see through that and its possibilities, I love what you just said there. The imagination is just incredible.
Oh, absolutely. And you can guide it. You can paint shapes, rough shapes from the outset, and then you end up drawing back into them. It just depends on how comfortable you are with the medium.
Absolutely. brilliant. And can I just ask you too? I forgot to ask you at the beginning. Why have you shown us echidna and tawny frogmouse today?
Oh, I'm actually drawing echidnas for a book that I'm working on at the moment, and it's a mother and a child echidna, and they're going through many different landscapes, and they run into lots of different animals on their journey. It's a story called Our Dreaming, written by Curly Saunders, and it'll be published by Scholastic in 2022, actually.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today, Dove. I know you're a very, very busy person. I can't tell you how grateful we are at Koala for making a special video for us this year. Thank you so much.
Oh, not a problem. It was my pleasure, Alison.